Pioneer fans, Pioneer women's varsity soccer is live and on the air. We are live here at Hollway Field where it is your Pioneer women's varsity soccer team taking on the Lincoln Rail Splitters. Pioneer is 7-3-1 as they have won 5 of the last 6. Coming in there on a 2-game win streak, beating Skyline 1-0 and beating Dexter 1-0. Their last loss was to Huron back on the 29th. That was a 3-1 loss to Huron. Their only losses came to Huron, Saline, and Skyline. And let's turn it over to John, our public address announcer.
The players, coaches, parents, students, alumni, and fans of the Lincoln Rail Splitters varsity soccer team to tonight's game against your Ann Arbor Pioneers. Let's meet the participants. First, the Lincoln roster alphabetically. Number 5, Emma Austin. Number 1, Nevaeh Boyd. Number 8, Eliana Fossbender. Number 13, Giselle Gomez. Number 32, Layla Gray. Number 2, Maya Hamami. Number 21, Anna Hatcher. Number 15, Carolyn Jones. Number 24, Persephone Gatmanavong. Number 17, Island Killian. Number 4, Corinne Killich. Number 19, Sarai Morales Ortega. Number 6, Kaylin O'Grady. Number 22, Abigail Thomas. And number 18, Jasmine Vale. The coach of Lincoln, Jordan Jackson. And now your Pioneers, here they are. Number 0, Jordan Knox. Number 2, Zoe Williston. Number 3, Maddie Hood. Number 6, Lydia Bezold. Number 7, Marguerite Poppins. Number 8, Claire Sleeman. Number 11, Ava Tekekar. Number 14, Lane Templeton. Number 19, Brianna Powell. Number 20, Sadie Wilkins. Number 21, it's Audrey Auer. And number 22, it's Kaylee Karsh. Number 23, Darren McDaniel. Number 24, Nana Neubauer. Number 34, Maya Borgsdorf. Number 42, Lauren Stanley. Number 49, Georgia Wilhelm. Number 50, Quincy Bain. Number 51, Ivy Wilhelm. And number 58, Sonia Walter. The head coach of Pioneer, Siobhan Norman, assisted by Andy Irvine, Senna Neubauer, and Joy Alicia. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you rise now to remove caps to the playing of the national anthem.
As we are about to get ready to go here at Hollway Field, where it is again your Pioneer women's varsity soccer team taking on the Lincoln Rail Splitters. Lincoln went over the Pioneer schedule. Lincoln is 2-7 on the season, opened up with a win. Here's the officials.
The assistant referees are Hassan Etchahali and Kevin Buck. And the man in the middle, the referee, Robert Bulkey.
We appreciate all those wonderful officials. We cannot have a game without them. So if you ever think that you may be able to do better, reach out to the MHSAA. We always need more officials. As a matter of fact, it was going to be back-to-back men's and women's lacrosse tomorrow, but the men's lacrosse got moved out to Thursday at Chelsea due to an official shortage. So certainly appreciate those folks. 2-7, Lincoln had wins versus Adrian, Arbor Prep. And those were the two wins. Losses were to Dexter, Skyline. Pioneer beat them 12-0. That was back at Lincoln back on the 20th. Huron beat them, Monroe, Dexter, and Bedford. As we are about to get ready to go, let's see, I believe that's Boyd in net for the Rail Splitters. And Knox will be in goal for Pioneer. As Lincoln out on the pitch, getting ready. Pioneer gathered around their coaching staff just on the far touchline as they get set to take the field. In the SEC, by the way, Pioneer in the SEC Red is in third place. Huron, 7 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, has 23 points. Saline has 7 wins, no losses, 1 draw for 22 points. Pioneer right behind them with 18 points, so 5 points off the lead, 6 wins, 4 losses, no draws. Then Skyline 2 points behind Pioneer, 5 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. As we are getting ready to go, Powell out right at the center circle to get us moving. Hood has it back as the center pitch moves it back over to Beazle. Beazle rolls it over to Neubauer. Neubauer sends it up the far side of the pitch. Over. Here comes Hood. Hood gets it over the center circle over to Hour. Hour moves it back to Ivy Wilhelm. Ivy Wilhelm down the near wing. Then to Williston. Williston gets it ahead to Bame. Bame comes over looking for a cross. Bame sends it over, and Powell puts it in. And Pioneer goes up 1-0. That at 39-27. As Powell put it in, Bame the assist. Fantastic ball movement. Pioneer takes the lead early. Gomez in the center circle looking to get things started for the Rail Splitters. Gomez moves it back over to Killian. Killian airs it, chips it down the near side of the pitch. That goes out the near touchline. Last touched by Bame, so that will go over to the Rail Splitters with the throw-in on the near touchline. As that's going to be Katmanavong with the throw-in on the near touchline. Thomas sends it back to Katmanavong. Katmanavong trying to move over, stolen away by Hour. Hour coming down the near touchline, feeds it over to Bame. Bame over, looking for the cross. Bame gets the cross over. That knocked out the end line by O'Grady. That will be a corner for Pioneer, as it looks like Hour is chasing down the ball. Looks like it'll probably be Hour taking the corner. And indeed it will be as she heads towards the near corner. Hour gets it set for the first set piece of the game. Hour gets back, raises her hands, Puts it up, arcs it over into the 18. That over on the far side of the pitch, racing over to get it is Walter. Walter keeps it in the far touchline. Walter looking for a cross. Walter sends it, and Powell just can't get to it off the post. As that's over. Auer with another shot. Save. As that comes back just out of the 18. Picked up. Williston sends it over to Auer. Auer goes to the far side. Shot and in. Auer makes it 2-0 Pioneer. From Williston, yeah. That at 37-43. It's Pioneer on fire early versus the Rail Splitters. Gomez sends it back over to Killian. Killian right on the center of the pitch, her own defensive third. She chips it ahead. Gets that over to Morales-Ortega. Morales-Ortega sends it to the center. Grabbed by Jones. Jones has that pulled away by Aller. Now Williston. Williston sends it over to Beazle. Beazle over to Neubauer. Neubauer feeds it ahead to Ivy Wilhelm. Ivy Wilhelm over the center line. Gets it up to Hood. Hood coming down the far side. Hood feeds it ahead. Walter racing over. Walter comes over with the cross trying to get to Powell. Powell, just misses the far post by inches and out the end line. That will be a goal kick for Lincoln with 37 minutes left here in the first. Oh, no, excuse me. That'll be a corner. Forgive me. Auer with the corner. Give me that over as Walter trying to get to it, and that time they point at the goal, and that'll be a goal kick. It'll teach me to look at the side judge. They put it on the edge of the 6. Killian to kick it away. 2-0 Pioneer with the lead, 36-22 left here. In the first, Killian raises her hand, puts her right foot into it, sends it down the far side of the pitch. Hood moves it over to Walter. Knock battle for it down as Fossbender moves it ahead. Grabbed by Morales-Ortega. Morales-Ortega trying to avoid pressure as that comes over right on the center. Racing over Hatcher. Has it Hatcher. Moving over to Jones. That knocked down by Williston. Beazle. Ahead to Auer for Pioneer. Auer moves it over to Ivy Wilhelm. Ivy Wilhelm comes up the center of the pitch into the attacking third. Ivy Wilhelm coming down and fires it. That got deflected out in front as Fossbender got a piece of it. That goes out the end line. Auer races over for the corner, as that'll be on the far corner as Pioneer has another set piece. 35-20 left to go here in the first. Auer raises her right hand, puts her right foot into it, skies it into the 18, and Walter heads it, and that just goes a couple feet to the near side of the goal. That will be a goal kick as Killian gets it set right on the near corner of the 6. Killian steps back right around the goal line to get a little room to work. Raises her right hand. Now Killian sends it down the pitch. That over to Kilich. Kilich gets it to Morales-Ortega. Morales-Ortega trying to come up the far wing. Kilich right on the far touchline. Trying to get over the center line. Hood steals it away. Hood coming into the attacking third. Over to Auer. Auer cuts towards the near side. Auer feeds it ahead. That over to Bame. Bame makes her way dribbling towards the center of the pitch. Now sends it over to Hood. Hood fires and just misses by a foot to the near side. And will again be a goal kick for the Rail Splitters. 2-0. Pioneer with the lead. 34:03 left to go. Pioneer has controlled play thus far. Lincoln looking to try and get this downfield and get a counterattack. Killian. Low line drive kick. Jones plays it off the body. Stolen away by Williston. Now Bame coming down the near wing. Bame coming over towards the near corner, looking for a cross. Now cuts it across. Powell had it. That knocked back. Chipped up high. As that'll come out as Gomez had it. Beazle sends it back on the far side of the pitch. Kilich right back into the midfield area. Gomez trying to get it over to Morales Ortega. That goes out the far touchline. That will be a throw-in for Pioneer as Neubauer will throw it in. Neubauer. Bounce over to Walter. Walter has it on the far touchline. Walter feeds Ivy Wilhelm. Ivy Wilhelm sends it ahead. Auer trying to get to it. Knocked away by Hatcher. Auer pulls it back, heads towards midfield, looking to turn on it, trying to get away from Thomas. Auer sends it over to Walter. Walter right on the far wing back as that sent down the near wing and out the end line. That will be a goal kick. Killian again has it set on the 6 towards the far side of the 6. She kicks that down the pitch, knocked down by Hood. Hood brings it ahead. Hood racing. Hood takes a shot, and that's a save by Boyd, I believe. No, that's Austin in goal. Save by Austin, with the orange sleeve over the kit. Hard to tell. Hours set for Ivy Wilhelm for the corner. Ivy Wilhelm sends a low arcing kick. That comes back. Williston chases it down, moves it over to Beazle. Beazle trying to get away from Gomez. Gomez has it. Gomez trying to corral it, moves it back over to Jones. Jones has that pulled away, moving over. Auer feeds it ahead to Hood. Hood coming down the center of the pitch. Hood moves it over on the far wing to Walter. Walter trying to get around Fassbender. That shot, Austin with the save as Powell trying to move it back over to Walter. Loose just on the 18. Powell looking for it, and then that kick by O'Grady out the end line. So Pioneer with another corner as that ball tries to make its way almost all the way to the Main Street field. Ivy Wilhelm with the corner. 30:55 left to go here in the first. 2-0 Pioneer with the lead. Keeping pressure on Lincoln. Ivy Wilhelm, low line drive kick. Williston fires that off a Powell. Now Auer with a shot off the crossbar. Over. Hood pops it up. That headed back. Powell plays it out of midair. Now Hood trying to get it over to Williston. Knocked down by Hood. Back over to Auer. Auer trying to dribble back, getting a little room to work over to Ivy Wilhelm. Ivy Wilhelm trying to work her way through top of the 18. And comes over to Williston on the near wing. Williston, near side of the pitch, trying to change directions. Gets it to Bame. Bame right along the end line. And just rolls through the 18 over onto the far touchline. Ivy Wilhelm keeps it in there. Ivy Wilhelm launches it. That bounces. Powell trying to redirect it as that one goes out the end line just to the near side of the goal as Bame was right there trying to get a piece of it. Let's say Pioneer touched that last as Killian will kick it away from the 6. 2-0 Pioneer with the lead. Killian arcs it up down the near side of the pitch. Williston trying to get that, and she goes down. That will be a free kick for Pioneer as Beazle looks like she'll take that just inside the attacking third. Beazle waits for everyone to be set. Now chips it up towards the 18. Bounces and grabbed by Austin. Right at the goal line, Austin comes out to the edge of the 18 with it. Austin. Looks like she might drop kick it. Austin pops it up high. Bounces. Gomez trying to get it. Now Williston corrals it right on the near side of the pitch. Moves it back to Beazle. Beazle on her own side of the center line. Over to Neubauer. Neubauer goes over to the far side of the pitch. Neubauer feeds it ahead as that is chipped back. Hood has it. Now that's rocketed. Ahead on the Lincoln side of midfield is Walter racing down the far touchline. Walter trying to get around Fossbender. Walter gets her way into the 18. That fired, tipped by Bayman. Coming over, trying to stop that, kicked out. Auer racing for it, and that kicked right along on the near wing. Bayman trying to pull it, trying to get herself around. Catman, and that fired in. Is that fired all the way over? Walter grabbed it. Good cross by Bame. Walter puts it in. Indeed, assist to Bame. It makes Pioneer up 3-0 at 28:08. As it was a good job by Bame working over on the near side, trying to arc it across. Now looks like Powell is going an hour and Walter all off the pitch. As in number 14 for Pioneer, don't have that. But also Tekakarin. That moved over on the near side. Bame has it. Bame racing down the near side. That cross played down by O'Grady, racing over to Kaker, trying to get to it. Karsh moves it back to Hood. Hood dribbles to her left. That knocked away. Kilich has it. Kilich feeds it ahead. Racing over to pull it away is Sleeman. Sleeman back to Kaker. Kaker over to Beazle. Beazle moves it over to Neubauer, back on her own side of center. Over, Knox plays it over to Beazle. Beazle coming out of her own defensive third. Beazle fires ahead to Kaker. Kaker over midfield. Kaker heading into the attacking third. Has Karsh. Karsh coming in. Karsh trying to get to it, and just led just a touch too far. Grabbed by Austin in the 18. But definitely opportunity for Pioneer. That down on the far side of the pitch. Sleeman plays it off the body, trying to turn on it to get it away from Morales Ortega. Now here comes Hood. Hood moves it right back to Sleeman. Sleeman arcs it ahead. Karsh plays it off the body. Gets it over on the far side to 14. And comes through, trying to get it. That shot bounced off of O'Grady. Bame shoots it, and Austin picks it up in the 18. 3-0, Pioneer with the lead. Austin throws it up and kicks it to Kaker. Plays it coming up the center of the pitch to Kaker. In the attacking third, over to Hood. Hood moves it over on the far wing to 14. Coming over on the far touchline, trying to keep it in from Fossbender. Moved over to Hood, kicked away by Killian. Now arced up into the 18, played down. Killian trying to get to it. Hood trying to dribble through traffic. Gets it over to Karsh. Karsh with the shot, and it goes in. Karsh scores. Karsh fires it in. That at 25:52, and that makes it Pioneer 4 and the Rail Splitters nothing. Gomez gets it set right at the center spot. Gomez sends it back to Killian. Killian in her own defensive third on the center of the pitch. Killian moves it over to O'Grady. O'Grady trying to feed it through traffic. Bame has it now over to Kaker. Dribbles, feeds it to Karsh. Karsh now moves back, trying to make her way through traffic. Back over to Ivy Wilhelm. Ivy Wilhelm dribbles into the 18, moves it to Karsh. Karsh tried to get to it, and again, just out of her reach. That saved in by Katmanivog. Vong. It was a throw-in by Bame. Walter comes in to Kaker, going out. As a throw-in by Bame on the near touch line. looks like Jones is coming out and Thomas coming in. Substitutions in. Bame arcs it as Ivy Wilhelm right on the near touchline gets it back to Bame in the near corner. Bame looks for the cross. Karsh, one times it, and that Karsh kicking it in the air. That off the crossbar goes out. That will be a goal kick, but an excellent attempt. Killian gets it set right on the edge of the 6 on the near wing. As coming into Kaker, back in for Pioneer. Killian kicks it down out into the middle third. Sleeman trying to pull that away. Now working away with it. Here comes Ivy Wilhelm. Ivy Wilhelm dribbling ahead. Ivy Wilhelm through the arc into the 18. Kick. And it hit the crossbar. Popped up, headed by Bame, and that grab by Austin. Austin did a good job there, as Austin has been under assault by this Pioneer offense. Moved right on the center of the defensive third for Lincoln to Kaker. Moves it over to Bame. Bame comes down the near touchline trying to avoid pressure by Thomas. Now the cross coming over. That knocked right back onto the near wing. Bame pulls that away. Bame feeds it over to Kaker. Kaker gets centered up, moves it, chips it into the 18. That goes out the end line about a couple feet to the far side. That will be a goal kick as Killian has it. Or will have it, setting it at the 6. As Walter comes back in, as well as Auer for Pioneer. That gives Wilhelm and Hood a rest. That popped up high. Arcs down on the near wing. Beazle has it, trying to fire it. That went off of Jones. Now Williston gets it over to Kaker. Back over, Williston feeding it ahead to Bame. Bame coming, fires across over to Karsh. Karsh moves back upfield with it. Karsh gets it over to Walter. Walter fires it in. That goes in. Walter with a shot from about 30 yards out. Walter fires it out from Karsh. That a heck of a shot from long range at 22-14. And Pioneer is up 5-0. Gomez has it set right on the blockades. Gomez moves it back. Killian launches it down the field. That played. Sleeman sends it up the pitch. Now trying to dribble through traffic. 14 for Pioneer. Gets it over to Auer. Auer feeds it ahead to 14. 14 coming down on the far wing, trying to get it over to Karsh. That move back over to Auer. Auer heads right in the middle. Auer feeds it over to Kaker. Kaker with a shot. That knocked down by Austin. Good save by Austin. That comes out the near touchline. I was just listening to some of our first lacrosse broadcasts ever, and Matt Auer was a really good face-off specialist for the first Pioneer men's team we did in 17. Ball set to kick it away from the 6. Killian raises her hand. Killian with a short kick gets it over to O'Grady. Back to Killian, who now launches it down the field to Kaker. Plays it off of her body, comes up to Kaker, moves it over, grab, 14 coming over, shot, and that goes in. Goal by number 14 for Pioneer.
Pioneer goal, Lane Templeton.
Templeton for that goal. Oh, there it goes, yep. As that will be at 20-54, Templeton puts it in. 6-0 Pioneer with the lead as Powell comes back in, replacing Bame. Yep, Powell in for Bame. Gomez has it set right at right in the center circle, waiting for the whistle. Now Gomez feeds it back. Killian has it on the far side of the pitch. Killian arcs it ahead. Jones trying to get to it. Williston plays it over. Now here comes Gomez. Gomez dispossessed. Williston trying to knock it away. Now Thomas firing it ahead. Here comes Williston. Williston racing over the center line. Williston coming down the near side of the pitch. Williston gets it over to Powell. Powell racing ahead with it. Powell trying to get back behind the defense. Powell's shot just goes a few feet to the near side of the goal. And so Ivy Wilhelm now is going to be patrolling the 18 for Pioneer. Would not be surprised to see Knox play out a little bit then. Boyd in for Lincoln. Killian arcs it down the pitch as Morales Ortega trying to come down the far side of the pitch. That's stolen away by Auer. Auer gets it over to Tekaker. Tekaker dribbling ahead. Now cuts towards the center of the pitch. Now back out on the far wing. That deflected off of a defender. Should be a corner, and it will be. Auer races over. It looks like Auer will take the corner for Pioneer. Auer set for this set piece. Raises her hand. Rainbows it, headed by Walter, and a great save by Austin. As that comes down onto the near side in the middle third, Beazle lets it go out the near touchline. As that'll be a Pioneer throwing, gets it over to Williston. Williston with the throw-in. Williston over to Tekaker. Tekaker trying to dribble through traffic. That knocked away by Thomas, brought ahead. Now here comes Walter for Pioneer. Walter ahead to Powell. Powell moves it over to Karsh. Karsh coming down the center of the pitch. Gets it over to Auer. Auer bringing it ahead. Gets it back over to Karsh. Karsh trying to dribble over to Powell. Powell fires and puts it in. Powell from Karsh. Another Pioneer goal.
Pioneer goal, Brianna Powell from Haley Karsh.
That is Powell's second tally. That at 18. 32, and Karsh with a goal and 2 assists now. Pioneers up 7-0. Gomez set at the center circle. Gomez sends it back into the defensive third for Killian. Killian over to Fossbender. Fossbender moves it up the far side of the pitch over to Morales Ortega. That knocked away by Auer. Coming ahead with it, Templeton. Templeton over to Tekaker. Tekaker trying to get it over to Karsh. Karsh stops, moves back, gets that back over to Auer. Auer dribbles to her right, trying to get through traffic, weaving. Auer coming in. Shot that just goes wide about 3 feet to the far side. As that went out off of Lincoln, that will be a corner for Pioneer. Auer out to take the corner. As she'll get set. She raises her right hand, kicks it away with the right foot, right into the 18, headed. Now that comes over onto the near wing, chasing and not quite able to get it before it goes out the near touchline. Was Tekaker. So she'll send that over to the 6, where Killian will kick that away. Killian gets back. Killian raises her hand and boots it down the field. And played down by Boyd. Over on the far side of the pitch, Auer brings it ahead. Auer over to Tekaker. Tekaker now fires. That got blocked, as that will go all the way down and out the far right. Oh, Tekaker keeping it in the far touchline. As that chip back, Vale trying to get to it. Karsh has it. Now Templeton trying to move it to Tekaker. Tekaker splits a pair of defenders leaves it over for Karsh. Karsh comes over with the, and Karsh gets it over to Powell. Powell just on the near side, fires it in. Powell with the hat trick. As Powell has it put in at 16:30. And Karsh has a hat trick of assists. As Gomez with the ball set again. Gomez moves it back. If you enjoy some soccer, there'll be some good soccer this weekend. 7 p.m. AFC Ann Arbor. The men's squad will be playing at 7 p.m. on Saturday, and 3 o'clock on Sunday. The women's squad will be here. We'll have both those games on 11 Sports for you. Powell ahead to DeKaker. DeKaker works her way down the center of the pitch. DeKaker trying to get. She has that knocked away, dispossessed. That comes right along as Gomez trying to get to it. Pioneer sends it back on the defensive side. Neubauer moves it over to Beazle. Beazle works her way up the near touch line over to Williston. Williston ahead to Powell. Powell trying to get back behind the defense. Powell racing down the near touch line looking for the cross. Powell weaves her way through defenders, shoots, and that grab by Austin. Well, despite the score, Austin has made some fantastic saves out there for the Rail Splitters as she has been under a barrage of shots by this Pioneer team. Austin puts it up high. That headed by Auer trying to pull it away. Morales Ortega providing some pressure with the challenge. Here comes Walter. Walter trying to weave through traffic. Walter gets it over to Auer. Auer comes down the far side of the pitch. Auer feeds it ahead, trying to get the Karsh. That knocked away by Killian all the way back into the middle third. Beazle with a pair of heads puts it over to Williston. Williston trying to get around Gomez. Williston over to Walter. Walter is challenged by Morales Ortega, gets it back over as that's sent ahead by Sleeman. Now here comes Auer. Auer dribbles to her right. Auer with the shot. That grab by Austin in the 18. 14:41 left to go as Austin feeds it over on the near side. That Kat Minavong. Kat Minavong ahead trying to get it to Jones. Williston has it. Williston gets it over to DeKaker. DeKaker works her way, shot, and that just over the crossbar, right through the field goal post. So lots of folks coming in. Hood, McDaniel, Bain. Ball set for Killian. Killian sends it down. That played down by number 10 for Lincoln. I don't have her on my roster. Kat Minavong feeds it ahead. Gomez trying to get to a Powell. Works her way past Gomez. That chip back over. Here comes Auer. Auer feeds it over. Sleeman with a shot and gets it in the top right-hand corner. Sleeman fires it in. I missed it. And at 13:33, Sleeman fires it in. Pioneer has the 9-0 lead. Again, the 8-goal differential only is in the second half. So Pioneer trying to build up a lead. Lincoln would love to come back and get it under the 8-goal differential. As 4 substitutes come in for Lincoln. Let's see, that would be Gray, Hatcher, Hemani, and Killich. Yeah, move back by Gray. Hatcher lets it go past. Killian has it now. Trying to feed it ahead. Auer gets it away from Hatcher. Auer brings it down the pitch. Auer trying to dribble past traffic. Shot just goes to the far side of the goal. Karsh right there looking for a rebound. 13:03 left to go here in the first. 9-0 Pioneer with the lead. You got to give this Lincoln team a lot of credit. They keep on trying to play hard despite the score. You can tell they're trying to battle out there. Killian feeds it down. That popped up high in the air by Bame. Bame looking, trying to dribble through traffic, fires, and that off the field goal post. That will be a goal kick right at the 6. As Kat Minavong sends it over, and Killian gets it set right at the edge of the goal area. And she'll step back to kick this one away. She does a short kick as well. Killian's been blasting these. She's got to start getting tired and moving over as trying to get it. Kat Minavong trying to corral it in. That goes out the near touchline. McDaniel with the throwing gets the ball from the fantastic ball boy out there. Popped up, arced up high, now moved over, and that will go out the end line. As Killian gets a ball from the young folk on the near sideline. Killian gets back right around the goal line now. Lifts it down the pitch. Knocked down. Bame coming over that ball. Bame trying to get past Killian. Now moved over by Hatcher. Hood feeds it down on the far wing. Gets it back. Hood trying to get it over to Neubauer. Neubauer, that over, trying to get to Sleeman, and that just off of the front of her boot. That will be a goal kick. 10:50 left to go here in the first. 9-0 is the score. Pioneer in the lead. It's a gorgeous day, by the way. Game time temperature 7 degrees, nary a cloud in the sky. Almost feels like summer has come, but give it a day, and I'm sure it will change its mind. That goes out the far touchline. That will be Pioneer with the throw-in. As Beazle arcs it in, racing over. Hood has it. Hood dribbles to the center of the pitch. Shot and in. Hood fires it in, and it's a goal. So Hood puts it in at 10-14. Pioneer with the 10-0 lead. As Gray dribbles the ball right to center to start things off for Lincoln. Gray gets it set right in the center circle. There is the whistle. Gray sends it back. Hatcher has it. Hatcher gets it, and that blasted forward right over the center line. Karsh plays it off the body. Now comes back. Karsh moves it back on her defensive side as Ivy Wilhelm, the keeper for Pioneer right now, sends it down the far wing. Beazle over to Hood. Hood now sends it towards the center of the pitch. That rocketed back into the far corner as Bame trying to get to it. Austin trying to grab it. Bame keeps it in into the near corner. Keeps it in the near that far touchline. That's sent. Knocked away by O'Grady back into the far corner. Corralled there. Bame looking for a cross. Bame fires it. And, oh, that bar down. And I think they're going to say it went in as Bame hit it, went bar down over the goal line. No. No, they'll say a goal kick. They'll say that maybe it touched the field goal post. That would be out. Killian has it. And bounces down on the far side of the pitch. Killich has it. Bame trying to pull it away. Bame and Killich. Back over to Beazle. Beazle Moves it back to the center line over to Powell. Powell trying to work her way through traffic. Feeds it ahead. Pioneer trying to get it over to Bame Bame. Now works her way a little further on the far side of the pitch. And that shot, Austin grabs it, stops it, picks it up on a bounce. Austin heads towards the edge of the 18. 8:18 left to go here. In the first, Pioneer has the 10-0 lead as Jones races down on the near wing. Jones has that pulled away by McDaniel. McDaniel over to Karsh. Karsh starts the counterattack for Pioneer. Karsh gets it ahead, then over to Hour. Trying to dribble through traffic over to Neubauer. Neubauer, that got knocked away. As that'll go all the way back into the 18 as O'Grady will just make sure and guide that right into Austin's arms. And Austin gets it over on the near side. Kapminovong had it. That pulled away by Sleeman. Sleeman gets it to Bame. Bame with a shot, and just over the crossbar. Somehow fit it right between the crossbar and the field goal. That's an impressive shot. Killian again with a goal kick from the 6. 7:10 left to go here in the first. 10-0 Pioneer with the lead. Killian moves it over on the far wing, pulled away by Bame. Bame racing over. Bame with the shot, and that goes in. Bame with the goal from the far wing, fires it in. .654. As the ball set right in the center circle, Gray has it for the Rail Splitters. Gray back over to Hatcher. Hatcher moves it back into the defensive third, over to O'Grady. O'Grady feeds it on the near side of the pitch. Jones trying to pull that away. McDaniel right there. That goes out the near touchline off of Hour, I believe. So that will be a throw-in by the Rail Splitters. O'Grady has it on the near touchline. O'Grady, as that goes back into the defensive third. Karsh has it there. Karsh works her way towards the center of the pitch. Karsh moves it back to Ivy Wilhelm. Ivy Wilhelm kicks it over on the far side. That's Beazle. Beazle sends it over to Bame. Bame over to Hood. Hood trying to work her way past Kilich. And rolled over onto the near side of the pitch into the attacking third. Sleeman has it. Sleeman kicked up high by O'Grady. O'Grady has that right at the center line. Hour back over to Powell. Powell heads up the pitch right over the center line. Hood gets it over to Beazle. Beazle can't quite get to it before it goes out the far touchline. That will be Rail Splitters with the throw-in. 5:32 left to go here in the first. 11-0. Pioneer with the lead. Walter looks like she's going to come back in as Killian arcs the ball over. Kilich trying to get to it. That got knocked off of Gray. Beazle trying to dribble her way through traffic. Gets it to Hood. Hood moves it right on the center of the pitch. Coming up with it. Here comes Hour. Hour over to Sleeman. Sleeman trying to control. That got knocked away. Back over to Hour. Hour brings it ahead. Hour over to Sleeman. Sleeman on the near side of the pitch. Sleeman trying to get that over. Loose in the 18. And O'Grady kicks it out the end line. That should be a corner for Pioneer. Hour will go and take the corner with 4:38 left to go here in the first. Hour on the corner gets some room to work. Now raises her hand. Hour arcs it up into the 18. Neubauer trying to get it. That played over as Hood couldn't corral it, pulled ahead by Morales Ortega. Morales Ortega coming up the far side of the pitch. Morales Ortega feeds it ahead. Powell now sending it the other direction. Walter stretching out, couldn't quite get it. I would have hurt something on trying that. Pulled back over, right over midfield. Fed ahead by McDaniel. Here comes Hood. Hood gets into the attacking third. Now Killian launches it all the way down. Walter has it. Walter brings it up on the near wing. Ahead to Hour. Moves her way up the near side. Gets it over to Sleeman. Sleeman racing ahead. Sleeman trying to keep it from going out the end line. Sleeman now dribbles up the pitch. Gets it over to Hour. Into the 18. Hour trying to get that over to Neubauer. And Neubauer not quite able to get her boot on it, and that will be a goal kick with 3:21 left to go. Karsh comes back on for Pioneer. Hour goes out as Pioneer able to rotate their players and keep them fresh. Killian up ahead. Hood trying to get it as Morales Ortega trying to play it. That grab by Beazle. Beazle over to Karsh. Karsh down the far wing. Karsh gets it over to Neubauer. Neubauer in the 18 trying to get past O'Grady. O'Grady ushers that right to Austin. Austin works her way out to the edge of the 18. Austin to kick it away for Lincoln. Austin arcs it down the pitch. Hood knocks it up. That headed back over to Karsh. Now Neubauer back to Karsh. Karsh trying to feed it ahead to Neubauer. Neubauer races over, and Austin gets to the ball first. Scoops that up with 2:15 left to go here in the first. 11-0 Pioneer with the lead. Austin arcs it. Karsh plays that out of midair. Karsh coming ahead with it. Karsh trying to field Neubauer. And will go out the far touchline. Beazle with the throw in on the far touchline. Karsh now on the far wing, arcs it ahead, trying to get it to Neubauer. That headed over Neubauer. As tracking it down, McDaniel has it, keeps it in the near touchline, moves it back over to Walter. Walter in that middle third. Walter moves it back to Powell. Powell brings it up the center of the pitch. Powell into the attacking third. Powell dribbles to her left, avoids traffic. Powell making some nifty footwork. Powell comes in, chips it over to Hood. Hood back over, trying to get it to Neubauer. That comes back to Karsh. Karsh trying to move it over to Neubauer as they're trying to get Neubauer a goal, and she missed by a matter of inches just to the far side. 1:04 left to go. Here in the first, but with the goal differential over 8. I believe that this will do it. We'll verify. Killian raises her hand, puts it down the pitch. Walter has it. Walter brings it ahead. Walter trying to feed it over to Neubauer. Neubauer with the shot. That grab by Austin. 36 seconds left in the first half. Austin puts it up, kicks it. As that's moved over, Neubauer with the shot and puts it in. As Neubauer scores, she gets a bunch of hugs from Pioneer. And at 19 seconds left in the first, Neubauer sends it in. By the way, the JV game right before this, it was Pioneer 8 and Chelsea 0. Tomorrow we will have Pioneer women's lacrosse. Originally we were going to have Pioneer men's lacrosse at 5:30. They have moved that game to Chelsea on Thursday. Women's lacrosse, I believe it's still 7:30 tomorrow versus Tecumseh. Then women's lacrosse on Thursday, we will have their game played off the body. Walter has it. Walter coming up. Walter, that into the attacking third. Karsh has it. Karsh over to Sleeman. Sleeman fires it in, and that will do it. That is the game, as it's an 8-goal differential, At the end of the first half, Pioneer wins the game 12-0. We will be back tomorrow with the Pioneer women's lacrosse game. I believe, again, that's 7:30, and we will tweet that out. Thank you to my camera person, Christina Wiseman. My name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you so much for your support of these amazing teams. Have a fantastic rest of the night. Take care and good night.